Hey guys, just thought I'd do a little video about this boat I've been working on. This was my great grandfather's boat, actually. He left it to me 3 or 4 years before he died. He died 17, 18 years ago, so he gave me this boat around 21, 22 years ago. And used the hell out of it for a long time. And but for a long time, it's just been sitting outside, and it's needed some minor work done to it for a long time now. That's the boat, and it's just been getting put off. And something I sat now, just sat out in the yard, and I was looking at it about 2 weeks ago, and I said, been putting this off for too long. So I want to go ahead and say that I am not a fiberglass guy. I'm not a mechanic. I am a network engineer. I work in IT. Everything I'm doing, this is 100% new to me, and it's literally just been a lot of trial and error, a lot of questions. Fiberglass is rough. It's rough stuff. I mean, if you're used to it, and you got all the equipment in the shop to suck up dust. I got out here day one. I'll go ahead and tell you, get some mask. Get you some good mask. Really, probably just get you a respirator. I've been buying some N95 masks. See if I got one out here handy. I do not. I just picked up another 15 pack. They seem to work good. It's got a little flap on the front of the mask. I wish I had one to show you. I don't have one. Right here, let me show you kind of what I've done. See, I tried this earlier, and this should be hard. This kind of came up. There's about 5, 6 layers of glass. You see this top layer is still white. Fiberglass resin, especially in this Alabama heat, it is getting hard on me so fast. I started here, got this done. This was just some old holes. You can actually see the hole where he had something. My great-grandfather had something mounted in there. And you see a little bit. It started drying up on me. I was trying to go as fast as I could. That's still white, but there's 3 layers on that one, 2 on that one. I just done this. This is something I already done. Just patching that little hole, I'm buying all my stuff at Lowe's. And I actually had a fiberglass guy come out, and he said I really needed to be using matte. He said this is more of a finishing cloth that I'm using. This is what I'm using right here. Bondo, designed for interior and exterior. It says home use. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, like I say, man, trial and error here. This floor, this used to be flat. Underneath that is the keel. This was fiberglass all the way across originally. What had happened, this probably happened 15 years ago or better. It was cracked right in there. You can still use the boat. I mean, this ain't the bottom of the boat. The bottom of the boat's up underneath there, the keel. And it had a little crack right there, a little hole. And, excuse me. And what had happened was, over years and years, pine straw gets in the boat, dirt, that stuff mulches. It had gotten up in there. And I knew that needed to be cut out. That's my Alabama slang coming out for you. Cut it. And so I knew that needed to be cut out. So I didn't know how to cut this out. I read, I think I was doing some reading. People are saying, they're using big grinders. I did not want to go through that fiberglass and hit that keel. So I just went to, I think, Russell Do-It Center. No, that's where I went. That's where I got this. And I bought this, a Dremel 4000. I used this little cutting wheel. Took one wheel to cut. Everywhere you see that plywood, I cut all the way down about that much in on each side. And my plan was I had to figure out how to lay new fiberglass over it. I actually attempted this. I'm embarrassed to show y'all. That's what I tried at first. You see this? I just laid that piece of plywood over it, and it looked god-awful. And I had a fiberglass guy come by, and this is what he does for a living. He said I was on the right track, and then what I did was I grinded that flat with a sander. I started off with my regular old little orbital hand sander. It's a DeWalt, and I realized that was not getting the job done. I could not get through this down to the old fiberglass. This is all fiberglass right here. I couldn't get through this white stuff down to it. So I went to Lowe's. If you're going to do a lot of fiberglass work, you need to invest in one of these suckers right here. Buddy, that will get the job done. You can change the dial to whatever speed you want. I've been using 80 grit sandpaper. That's my second 50 pack of 80 grit. Actually, had a little 15 pack at first, used that. I done went through a 80 pack on my second one now, plus a little 15 pack. So I went through a lot of sandpaper, sanding this thing down. These pieces right here, that's new fiberglass, been laid over that. This was actually this one and that one. I cut that out today. You can see the wood on top. I wanted to see if it was any water or rot in it. And these were actually okay. This one back here, I don't know if you can see on the camera, there's new wood in there. And then today, I hadn't actually touched this one. It looked okay. Better than that one. That one you could tell something when I could just immediately tell. And today, I cut that whole piece out. Got all the dead out. Don't make fun of my wood. It was a weird shape of wood. And I kind of I tried to round smooth the edge. I might hit that some more, but I think it looks pretty good. I'm going to cover that in fiberglass. I'm going to coat that in resin and then coat it. That's what I did on that one and that one up there. I know I did it on that one. But I coated it in resin completely, and then I laid cloth over it, and then I'm going to shove it down in there and then, you know, glass that in up against the side wall and down. So I've been working on that. Here was another, I think, where he had a seat mounted years ago. I know this looks rough, man. That's where I've just went through the white. I've been roughing this up, scuffing it up real good, so that way I can get some marine type paint on there. My fiberglass guy that I know, he's recommended something. I don't know what he called it. I'm going to have to ask him. He's coming over tomorrow. This is where, well, just some holes, and I only put one piece of fiberglass there and just smoothed it out. I need to smooth it some more. I actually broke the head on my orbital sander, and I love that other one, but it does so much destruction so fast. You really got to be careful. That plywood there, like I said, I cut this to where it's nice and it's a smooth downward. And the fiberglass guy, excuse me, he suggested that I smooth those out nice and going down, and then bevel. So that's what I've done. I went in on each side of that plywood. I beveled that with my sander at a nice angle, so that it kind of, I mean, it's not perfect. And I've actually taken this off. You can see, man, there's not much of a gap there. There is in some spots, but once we resin it in fiberglass, I mean, that's going to be a nice, smooth transition. And before, there wasn't a piece of plywood there. It was actually just like I guess whenever they were manufacturing this boat, they just put a thin piece of like paneling, just something to support the fiberglass, and then it was just pure fiberglass over it. That is one good thing about this boat. The majority of this boat is all fiberglass. There's very little wood on it. And my biggest issue, it's not an issue right now, but it's going to be this transom. My fiberglass, the guy I know that does fiberglass work, he says that he can replace this whenever I feel like it needs to be done. Right now, I mean, that thing, it's pretty rock solid. Here's something else I've done. Here was the old piece, just a little transom saver, whatever piece. That was the old piece. You see, it was all rotted. Now I've gotten that piece. That's going to be coated in fiberglass. I'm not going to do that until we do the outside of the boat. We have looked at the bottom of the boat, and the entire keel has just taken a beating. This boat's a 1975. So it's an old boat. It's a very, very good boat. Very, very stable. My great-grandfather actually lived right on the water in Carabel, Florida with my great-grandmother. And they built a house down there in the late 60s. And they lived down there for a long time right on the water. And he had a big charter boat, and he also had this boat. So a lot of memories in this boat. A lot of my family have made a lot of memories in this boat. And I'm just trying to, you know, I'm going to buy a boat. And but I really just want this thing fixed up, even if it just sits under the you know, under the shed or something. Just, you know, I want to know it's there, and it's going to last a long time. Something else I've been doing, And I've actually ground on that. I think I need to put some kind of polish. It looks like that's already got some rust on it, but you can see this old fitting, nice and shiny. That was rusty. It was the color of that rust. You can see I started on this one. I haven't finished it. These right here, just something smart. My granddaddy put all, my great grandfather put these on here. That's a rod holder. There's one there. There's one there. There was two back on the transom that sat straight up and down on either side. And then that's a little rod holder. So, I mean, this thing had a lot of rod holders on it. Other than that, I mean, I don't know. I just wanted to, like I said, make this video. I know I'm not a camera guy. I'm not a YouTube guy. I just wanted to make it, just to say, I don't know, like I say, this ain't my line of work. I'm very limited on tools. I seem to only acquire more tools when I'm on a project, and then I find that I need it. I had to pick up a jigsaw to help me cut some of these these weird pieces. So I picked up a Craftsman jigsaw. I know, it's a Craftsman. Pulled that brand new, pulled it out of the box. The deckgum lock, you know how you lock the trigger, immediately did not work. I was like, what? I locked it. I'm still pulling the handle and it's going up and down. I'm like, what the? Other than that, I mean, it cuts fine. I mean, it seems to work great, but just, you know, brand new. You just don't expect that stuff. So, I mean, it works, but you got to flip it back and forth about 10 times to get it to finally lock. I just pulled the battery off. I got kids, and my luck, I'd end up grabbing it by accident and cutting myself. Other than that, if you're doing this work, I would say maybe this ain't the best stuff. Maybe get you some mat or something like that, and then I don't know, I'm gonna post another video hopefully by this weekend. Oh, I've got that all these, you know, bricks, random bricks and stuff, because I'm trying to get that plywood to bend. That's not a perfectly flat, you know, the boat, it's pretty flat, and then right up here it kind of curls up just a little, and I've got all that weight there trying to get that plywood to shape just perfect, because this is Wednesday. I've had that sitting like that since Saturday. I pulled it up Sunday, rebeveled it some more of an angle to get it sit a little bit tighter to close that gap. And then I think Friday morning is the plan. My fiberglass guy, he's going to come by, and he's got the mat and the resin. He's going to supply that, and he's going to just come out and kind of help me get that in there exactly the way it needs to be. Yeah, once it's done though, this boat should be looking really good. I don't know. He talked to me about maybe rebuilding. This box used to be here. My grandfather cut it out, opened this boat up some. That was something else I did. I took my Dremel. That little lip, you can see it down there. It was a little bit higher than that. I took it down about 3/4 of an inch or so just to lower it a little bit more. And I didn't feel no comfortable cutting any closer, because this is actually the bottom of the boat. So this is the back. This is the outside of the boat, you know, connected. Anyways, this video is getting a bit long. I'm gonna post another video. It's not gonna be me working on it, but maybe once we get the fiberglass down, maybe I'll take a quick video, show y'all that, and then I'm gonna get this whole thing sanded down with some 120. Might even, I don't know, probably some 120 grit sandpaper. All the everywhere we fiberglass it, you know, get it nice and smoothed out. Then we're gonna get this entire boat painted. It ought to be looking way, you know, a whole lot better then once we get some fresh paint on there. And I'm going to be pretty happy with it. Once that's done, we're going to flip this boat on the upside down. The entire keel of the boat. I mean, this boat's 50 years old almost. And, you know, it's taking a beating on the keel. I mean, this thing floats fine. Don't take on water, nothing like that. But it is, you know, it's kind of worn down. You can see that fiberglass the entire length of the keel. Mainly, you know, more so up here on front. And I think we're going to sand that down a little bit, re-glass over that, fix these little, that little gash right there. I mean, again, you know, it's through the paint. You can see the fiberglass. It just needs some attention. And then probably going to, you know, get these stickers off. They're crappy. Probably going to repaint them on. That way there's no sticker there to peel off on me in the future. And I will say, guys, I don't know who made this boat. I would love to know. It says Malibu on the back. When I Google 1975 13, it's a 13 wake boats and stuff like that. So if anybody knows who made this boat, I would be extremely interested. I will show you. That was the old sticker. I know you can't see much. Maybe somebody recognizes that logo or that emblem. It says something. It says almost like it says E right there. Let me get up a little closer. Something sales and service, Marine Center. I don't know. And I'm gonna check my registration. I don't think my registration knows because I've never known really who made this boat. But whew, man, I've been rambling for almost 16 minutes. All right, guys, I'm gonna post another video, show you how it goes, show you once maybe once we get it all fiberglass, take a quick video, show you what that looked like, how the floor turned out, and then maybe another video of the inside once we get it all painted, and then I'll show you the bottom, and then once we finish the bottom, and just show you kind of the end product. But if you're working on something like this, one, get some mask, get you a good sander. Probably find somebody you know, or talk to somebody who knows something about how to do this stuff if you don't know how to do it. Because, but you know, mainly just stay at it, man. It takes a lot of time. I've been at this about every day for 2 weeks, so made a lot of progress. But it's been a little nitpicky stuff like making that little corner piece, man. That took. It wasn't just like cool cutting a little board, because the board, I mean, it took a lot longer than I was expecting. So little stuff like that, it takes some time. But if you're willing to put the time in it and stay at it and just don't give up, I hadn't finished yet, but I'm expecting a good end result. So get your heart in it and stay at it. But all right, guys, let me quit rambling. We're at 17 minutes, and this flown by. So all right, later.